welcome back, everybody. I decided to switch it up and maybe do something not so dramatic in this video. We have Andrew Wilson debating some pick-me's. I saw this in my feed, had no clue what a pick-me is, so we are about to learn what the heck a pick-me is. Looks like a lot of ladies in the chat. I do see one guy's picture, two guys' pictures. Okay, but a few ladies as well. Let's find out what a pick-me is.
You don't know what that man does behind closed doors with his woman. He very well may be holding her accountable, but he doesn't have to display that to the world because that's his love. But with a pick-me, I think they have a little less respect because they're looking for.
Well, I'd have to say is the opposite, right? So I would say you have this reversed. So I think that when women are referencing a pick-me, it's not that it's a woman who is seeking validation from men, but rather a woman who gets validation from men, whether she's seeking it or not. And this in turn makes women extremely upset because they don't generally get validation from men.
Okay, I think I'm getting this right. So a pick-me is just a woman that is trying to get attention. And I see TikTok here, so maybe it's women that are dressing a certain way and trying to get attention, and that's the pick-me. And it looks like Andrew Wilson is saying here that the women are kind of jealous is what I'm hearing. So the other women that aren't pick-me's are jealous of the pick-me women because men are giving them attention and the non-pick-me women are not getting validation from the men. I'm kind of curious where this is going here. This is a very interesting one for me. This is a live reaction to something I had no clue what it is. All right, let's continue.
Well, the term pick-me itself is like pick me. So
yeah, I know. And then they get, but what makes the other women mad is that they get picked. That's what makes them mad, right? That's the point.
But pick-me is a shaming term. It's like
it doesn't make them a pick-me though because they have the validation.
Because I do know that women get triggered by pick-me's. So does a simp make you mad? Like, what do you think about simps?
Well, I don't understand what you mean by mad. Like, if you point to any societal ill, does that mean you're mad? Or is it just something you like to say so you can be like, are you mad, bro? Like, what is...
No, I was just referring to, like, men, because they, like, typically call out other men and say that they're simps and stuff. And
yeah, so here's... I'll tell you the difference.
So before he answers, like, my opinion, it's different. Men call out stuff with other men in a different way, I believe. So when I'm like talking to my boys or something like that, we call each other out, not so much out of jealousy or anything, but more out of like poking fun at something, or I don't know, like saying they shouldn't be doing it. I guess I don't know how to word it, but it's more of a playful thing. Other than that, like, men just don't really talk to each other that way. So if we're going to call something out and our friend, it's because we're kind of making fun of it, like, bro, why you doing that? Ha 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 ha. Not in like a jealous way usually. I think men keep their jealousy inside. So if you're jealous of another man, you're really never going to say that to that man, if that makes sense.
When a man's calling another man a simp, he's saying that this woman is not deserving of validation and you're giving it to her. When women are calling another woman a pick-me, they're saying this woman is getting validation which she deserves from men and it makes me mad. That's the difference.
But who are you to say if anyone needs validation?
Well, who are you to say anything? I mean, who are any of us to say anything? We're both giving opinions and our assessments on the situation. Neither of us are mind readers, but we can definitely assess what we see, right?
Right, but I just assessed what you said, and you said that...
No, you're not assessing what I said. I'm saying what hang on, that makes no sense. Hang on, this makes no sense, though.
No,
saying I'm trying to assess what you say, then steel man my position.
Validation to a woman, she does not deserve that validation. So
yeah.
My question is to you.
That's why other women call her a pick-me.
Who does not deserve validation?
Yeah, but see what you're doing.
I think the argument here is anytime you're talking about a sensitive subject like this, I believe the woman is saying, "Who are you to judge?" And Andrew is saying, "Well, who are you?" They're both saying the same things, I believe, but once you take something personal, which the lady seems to be taking it personal, it turns into the non-logical arguments, I would say. So right now, this is might have been the first time I've said this. I kind of am with Andrew Wilson so far. It does not mean he's not going to go off the rails here. So let's see what happens.
Right now.
Yeah, but see what you're doing is a bait and switch. You're like, who are you to say that? Well, who are you to say it? We're both giving. We're both. Hang on. We're both giving a speculative opinion on a thing. Like, who are you to say anything about anything? It's just your opinion on it based on what you observe, right? Or do you have like a magic book where you can read people's hearts and know what they mean by things?
Okay, so let's assess the word "pick me" then. Can someone
By
define
whose
the word
definition?
Right here. It's right on my screen.
By whose
Okay, so
definition, though? Do I get to pick a
Google.
definition too?
For AI.
Google? Well,
Woman who
Google's
acts
not
like-
defining things. Google's pulling
I do agree with
definitions.
Ann.
Okay, so this says that a pick-me woman is a woman who actively seeks validation from men, often by presenting herself as not like other girls and downplaying typically feminine traits. Essentially, trying to be the woman that men would pick over others, usually at the expense of other women.
Wouldn't that just be trying to be attractive? Man or woman, by the way. I believe a pick me is everyone then. Everyone that is trying to attract a mate is a pick me. In the animal kingdom, there's pick me's all over the place, right? You got certain animals that the males would have extravagant colors or extravagant tails that are really useless for survival, but it shows the woman that they are healthy or that it just attracts the woman, right? In many different ways in animal kingdom. So I think evolution has created pick-me's all over the place. So I'm kind of not getting the argument at all anymore. I'll try to stop pausing and we'll just continue to watch the rest of it. Not making any promises though.
Yeah, do you understand what...
That's not right. That's
First of all, do you understand what a
That's not-
proprietary definition is? So the thing is like, I disagree with this definition. I'm giving you a proprietary definition. I'm telling you that my observation is that perhaps that is what the word means definitionally from what your perspective is or whatever authority you're appealing to. What I'm saying is my observation is that when this word is used by women, it's being used by women in order to say there's validation which you've earned coming from men, and it makes me mad.
Yeah, it's a shaming tactic. It's to make women feel bad.
No, it's not to make women feel bad,
I
but
actually have a
again,
question.
Okay,
Well,
but
if
what's
you're, if you're at,
pick me, you seek validation, whether you have it or
okay?
not.
But
If she has
I
that
know it's
validation,
to.
good for her.
I know it's
But
to.
if she's
You
seeking
guys are
it,
saying it's to
you
make
got to pick
women
me.
feel bad, but how do you feel when the man says that you're a simp? So is that not the same?
No, it's not the same. Would you like me to explain?
Not the
Here, I'll
same.
explain it again so that you understand. There's a distinction here. When a man is calling another man a simp, he's saying, this woman has not earned anything for which to validate her, and you're doing it anyway, generally because you just want to have sex with her. Like, that's generally what's going on. When women are doing this, they're not saying this to other women because they think women want to have sex with that man. They're saying it because she's getting male validation, and it upsets
Okay,
them that
please
they're not
say
getting male
sex.
validation. Oh, sorry.
But
Okay.
there are women who get male validation who aren't seeking it, and those aren't pick-me's. The
And
ones who
so
are
you're
pick-me's,
making,
the
you
ones
would be,
who seek
you would be,
validation.
you would be, either way, you'd be making my point. So
How
because
so?
the woman's perspective here is this is unearned validation, it makes them upset. And so then they call this woman a pick-me. That just because they think she doesn't deserve the attention, then they say she's seeking the attention. Like, here, let me give you some key examples of this. Let's say a woman puts out an article that is pro-male. Okay, this doesn't happen very often, but occasionally there are academic women who do. She'll often get called a pick-me, even though all she's doing is getting validation from men who think it's earned because they agree with what she's saying, not because she's seeking specifically the validation of men. Do you see the distinction?
Yeah, I see the distinction, but there is also a difference between a woman who's seeking it and a woman who's not. We're typically not calling women who are pick-me's the ones that are not seeking the validation of men. Women who could care less about what a man thinks but still get that
How do you
validation.
determine
Those
that?
are
Like,
not
how do
pick-me.
you know if they're actively seeking it or not? Like,
Yeah, if I
I
saw
mean,
women, like, I would agree with your
a
point.
real
If I
woman doesn't have to
saw,
seek
if
validation from a man.
if I saw,
Okay, I get everything going on. Still agreeing more with Andrew here. I get what the woman is saying, but I hear the personal feelings that are involved where she's saying a woman should not have to seek validation from a man. So she is kind of against her own argument with that statement, because she also said, well, it's okay if a woman wants to seek validation from a man. So why would she then say a woman should not have to, right? It should just be her choice. Whether she wants validation from men or not should be the woman's choice. And she is kind of backtracking on what she previously said a few minutes ago. And this is just what happens when emotions get involved. But I was getting her point on what she was trying to say until she kind of contradicted herself right there. And I would like to go back to the point of making there is nothing wrong with either sex trying to find a mate. That is just a part of the world we live in, evolution, the system that we live in. Everyone is trying to seek validation from someone. And sometimes we're trying to seek validation from ourselves. It's a really weird thing. Like, there's no way to live without trying to seek validation. So I kind of don't get her point here. Anyways, let's keep going.
women who were like half clothed all over X, getting called pick-me's by other women, then I would agree with you. But that's not ever what I see. Instead,
say half
hang on.
clothed
Instead,
all over X?
hang on. Instead, what I see is, you go, girl. You're a girl boss. Live your best life, girl. Blah 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 blah. When I see a woman instead give like an academic assertion or a dissertation or an opinion that is pro-man in any way, shape, or form, that's when they seem to call her a pick-me. Not when she takes off half of her clothes and says, look over here, look at me, look at me. Then they go, you live your best life. So it doesn't seem to add up that your definition of pick-me actually applies in reality.
Yeah, so a pick me, again, would be someone who is seeking the validation. So again, if that woman is on X or wherever she's on versus a woman who is fully clothed, either way it goes, neither one of those women care about that man's opinion. And earlier, when it was stated that a woman who not humiliates other women, but puts other women down for the validation of that man, that is considered a pick me. I applaud any woman who is doing what's best for her. But if you're putting women down in the process of it, then yes, that makes you a pick me.
Yeah,
If
but do you understand
want the
application?
validation,
Like application. So let's say we had a grouping of definitions, but then when we applied them in the real world, that's not what we saw. That's what's
we
happening
can
here.
talk
Hang
about
on.
definitions.
I just let you finish. I didn't interrupt you once. When this happens, here's what I see happening. I see when women go online and go, here, look at my busty bra and me pushing my boobies up and everything else. There's tons of women underneath their account saying, you're a queen, you go girl, you rock, you're epic, et cetera, et cetera. The only time I see them get called, even though clearly that's male seeking, they're seeking male validation, clearly. The only time I see them attack and call them a pick-me is when they receive male validation because it's earned through like academia or something like this, and they're actually saying things people agree with. Then it seems like when women actually attack them as pick-me's.
So women who are doing X or whatever they're doing, I do not feel like they're seeking the validation of men. I feel like they're doing what's best for them.
Yeah, they're
Because
wearing
they're
they're
profiting.
wearing almost no clothes to impress women, huh?
I
Okay.
mean, yeah, and it pays their bills.
Uh-huh.
So
But
they're
but
doing
but
what's
Miss
best for
Because they
Fitz,
want male validation. Who's paying their bills? Women or men? Men. They want male
Miss Lady,
validation.
But
Like, what are you talking about?
validation has nothing
exactly.
to do with your money, though. Like you
Much
can
work
pay
Yes,
money
it
and still
does. What are you
not
talking
Literally
about?
does.
Yes, it
no.
does.
Much work is
It does
male
not not. It does not.
So if all these men invalidated this woman, would they be sending her money? No, that makes no
I
sense.
mean, y'all don't validate her because she's not considered wife material. Is that correct?
That's not what we're.
That's
First of all,
correct. So,
validation.
since you all are
If
not
they're sending her
valuing
money, they're validating her. How like? There's no way around that.
Oh, I mean, you cannot consider that validation if she's profiting, though. So
She's profiting from men with wearing.
It's not their validation that pays her bills; it's their money. So if
okay, can you explain? Can you just help me with this?
I was really hoping I could be with this lady on this one. I just think she's the wrong speaker for what she's trying to talk about. She's kind of falling into their whole point. I don't know if she realizes it. Maybe she's going to be able to realize it and come back in this one. But she's saying that women, it's okay to take advantage of males' validation, but you should not be seeking the validation. I think that's what I'm hearing. Because she's saying that taking their money isn't seeking validation, but that's 100% what it would be. So if I'm trying to sell you anything, me trying to get you to buy it is, and if I get you to buy it, that is you validating that what I am selling is good. So there's no way around it. If the way you make money is to have somebody like looking at you, that is seeking validation. That's what I'm thinking here.
Explain. Can you just help me with this? Explain to me how it would be that a man would send you money and that wouldn't be him validating you or in some way affirming what it is that you're trying to do. Can you even begin to explain that concept to me?
Yeah, because you all don't validate those type of women. You
That
validate the women
that doesn't give me a
clothes, who are not on X, who are not on OnlyFans. Y'all validate those type of women. Those are the women who y'all respect.
Okay, please say OF.
That makes okay again.
Respect does not need your
Why would a
validation.
man send you a money to invalidate you? That's the dumbest thing I've heard all day.
That's not dumb, love. So you're looking at validation differently. Validation,
What does validation mean? What do you think it means?
Okay, I think she's confusing validation with I don't know. What is she confusing validation with? Because validation is definitely not what she's saying. Like, it has nothing to do with a wife or a girlfriend. There's different levels of validation. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say here. And I think she just thinks validation means that you'll keep her. I guess she's a keeper, maybe.
Host, can you pull up the definition of validation so everyone can see?
Yeah, pull up validation so everyone can see.
It's on the screen. I already knew this was going to be a part of the conversation.
Ilani, just back down, please.
The act of confirming something is acceptable, true, or worthy.
Accuracy.
The act. Listen, it's the act of
checking or proving the validity.
No, that's only first definition. There's multiple definitions.
Okay.
Validation is the act
making or declaring something legally or officially acceptable.
No, or the act of confirming that something is acceptable, true, or worthy. So how would I not be saying your behavior is acceptable if I'm sending you money for your behavior? That would make no sense. That would be a contradiction.
But they're still not the same women.
He's right.
No, those are the same women by your metric. They're the same women.
That's
They're not the
validating
same women though. Y'all don't view them the same way. We're talking about
just help me out here. If I sent you money because I wanted you to take off your clothes, how would that not be an act of confirming that that was acceptable? How?
You all are viewing these different women differently. So if you're viewing a woman on X who is doing what she does versus a woman who is more conservative, you're not going to view them the same.
Can you answer you're answering a question I didn't ask. If a man sends a woman money to take off her clothes, how would he not be engaged in an act of confirming that that is acceptable? How?
What you're not
That
understanding.
man,
from my
answer the
point is that
question, lady.
you're-
Stop evading and just
that-
She
answer.
doesn't
That
understand,
woman
bro.
is
She
not
doesn't
seeking your
understand.
validation. That woman on X is not seeking your validation.
I'm going to try this again.
So,
She don't
A
get it,
man
she'll never understand.
pays a woman to take her clothes off. How is he not confirming that that's acceptable? How?
okay, so you can say it's acceptable because you're paying
Okay,
her.
thank you.
But
So that would be validation then.
Okay, so now that you've gotten the answer you wanted, we're going to go back to the pick me woman and the woman who's on X fans who
Okay.
doesn't care about your opinion.
Okay.
So if we're talking about these two women, a pick me is someone who needs that validation from men, that acceptance from men. You won't accept that woman who's on X or OnlyFans. You'll accept.
Okay, I think I finally got her point. She's just saying there's different versions of the pick-me's, right? There's the pick-me woman that really can't live without the validation of a man, like the one that wants to get married or something like that. Maybe I could be wrong here. I'm just trying to understand what she's saying. And then you got the pick-me of just pick me because I want your money. So that I think that's what she's meaning by conservative pick me, right? So the conservative pick me would be the woman that is doing things to get a man. And the other pick me is still doing things to get a man, but she's doing it just to profit from the man. And she's saying the other one is bad, I think. Let me know if I'm wrong here. Thanks.
Except that they do if they're sending them money by your own metric.
And she is more conservative.
Yes. So some men will validate
it's
women.
Actually not having to do with you all. It's having to do with that woman.
That's insane. Okay, this is crazy. Listen, even if it were the case that there's some women who receive validation from men because they keep their clothes on, it's insane to say that women aren't receiving tons and tons of validation from men for taking their clothes off. You saying that some men have a preference for this behavior over the preference for this behavior has no merit for why it is that we see women mostly attacking other women who are telling women to keep their clothes on as pick-me's, because that's what's actually happening. And that's not for male validation. That could be for all sorts of other reasons, including the society that they live in. So I don't even understand the argument.
A pick-me cares about what a man thinks about her. A woman on X does not. That's the point I'm trying to make.
So any woman who cares what men think, a pick-me?
Absolutely.
So
if you
so
care
any
about
woman
what
who
a man
cares,
thinks
so if you
about
care what your father
and
thinks, you're a pick-me.
You're willing to put another woman down.
That's not what you did. That's not what my question was. My question was.
No, and I'm elaborating on my answer. So any woman that seeks validation or acceptance from a man and in the process puts down the next woman.
That's a qualifier. That's not what I asked you. I asked you if any woman wants validation from a man, does that make her a pick-me? I'm not asking for qualifiers. Answer that question.
So any woman that wants
validation from a man, does that make her a pick-me?
Yes.
Well, then if that's the case, then every girl.
Okay, what's weird here in the hypocrisy of what she is saying is she is putting women down. So she is being a pick-me to something. I don't know what she's being a pick-me to, but she is putting women down. She's saying women that want validation from men are bad. No woman should be getting or should want or need validation from men. So she's contradicting herself right here. And I'm surprised, but I'm still kind of agreeing with Andrew Wilson. I'm feeling he's going to say something stupid that makes me think he's a jerk again. But in this moment, I'm kind of agreeing with him. I'm surprised none of the other women that are on the call aren't helping the lady. Maybe they just disagree. This could be possible. But she did contradict herself just then.
Girl who wants validation from her father is a pick-me.
An average man, love. Your father's totally different.
Oh,
But
now,
if
oh,
you're
wait, I
seeking
thought you just said
validation
that
from a
any
man,
woman who wants any validation from any
first of
man's a
all,
pick
a
me.
woman's father never needs his validation. She had that from day one. The average woman, I would hope. I'm speaking about the general man and the general
Almost
woman. If
every
you're looking
almost
at a
every human
woman,
being on
if you're
planet
looking
Earth
at
wants their parents to be
man,
proud of
you're a
them. What are you
woman and you're
talking
looking
about?
at a man, you need that acceptance and you need that validation from him, and you're willing to put other women down to get that validation from that man, then yes, that makes her a pick me.
Yeah.
Any ladies watching this, let me know if you agree with her. I'm really trying, but she's not making any sense. I think it's still going back to she's saying it's okay to take from so and so, but you don't need. I don't know. It's really weird what she's saying. I don't know. Help me out in the comments.
All you're doing is adding additional qualifiers to
Look,
the
if you want
insanity.
to refer back to her father, if you're having to step on your mother's toes and downplay your mother and get in your mother's way of your father because you want his validation so bad, then damn right, it makes you a pick me.
I see. So if a woman wants flowers from her man and that makes her feel really good, right? Meaning he's engaged in the act of confirming something is acceptable. In this case, bringing her flowers. She's a pick me by this definition. You understand that, right?
You want your man to do nice things for you. You don't need his
because you're a
validation.
pick me by your definition. Because you want validation.
You want your man to do nice things for you. Your man now. We're not talking about just an average man.
No, just a guy you're dating. Just a guy you're dating. Just a guy you're dating.
No, you want him to do nice things for you, but that's not validation.
Well,
That's
okay,
not
validation. The act.
If
Validation. The act of
you are with
confirming
a
something
man-
is acceptable.
If you're
That's
with a
it.
man that can't do something that's give you flowers, then why you with him? Like that's simple.
okay.
Is that not validation?
Yeah, that's validation. That's all validation.
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
The
It's not
act of
validation.
confirming something is acceptable, true, or worthy. So if it is the case that the act of confirming something is acceptable, it is acceptable to give a woman flowers. Therefore, if you give a woman flowers, you are acceptable. That's acceptable. So if that's the case, it's validation. Yeah?
I don't think she knows what
No.
validation really means.
It still isn't. Still isn't
Just have the whole
validation.
definition on the screen, love. I know what it means, and I'm highly educated.
I see. You're so
You're
highly
right.
educated that a second ago you said any man who at any time
Yes,
you get
any man,
validation
and I
from, you're a
stand on
pick me.
that, and I stand
Including
on
your
that.
father.
Yes,
That would be
sir.
any man.
If you are stepping on another woman's toes to get that validation from a man, then yes, that makes you a pick me.
That makes you a pick me. So
It
now
sure
the
does.
now the qualifier is if you're stepping on any other woman's toes.
Yes, because pick me's are often classified as
I
women
see.
who put other women down.
So if a woman wants to
make them
have
feel good.
if a woman wants to sleep with your man and you step in and stop that, you by this definition now would now be a pick me. Because you're
That
stepping
I
on her
would
toes to
be-
get validation from your man.
I would sure not be a pick me because she can have them. But
Well,
yeah,
so by your definition, if a woman wanted to sleep with your man, you wouldn't do anything to deter that because that would make you a pick me. Are you fucking serious?
are you asking if I would stop a woman to sleep with my man? That what you're asking?
Yeah,
Sleeping with my man?
yeah,
Ma'am, he's testing your logic and you're failing epically.
badly.
No,
No,
I really want to understand this question. You're asking me if I would stop a woman from sleeping with my man.
if you had a woman who you knew wanted to sleep with your man,
Nisha.
would you encourage or discourage it?
That was a chick question because I just realized what pick me was today. So because I seek a male's approval for whatever it is under the sun, I'm a pick me.
And
Yes.
put down other women in the process.
No,
Yes, you are.
no, I didn't say that.
Yeah, but she keeps on adding that qualifier.
Just
Because
get
it qualifies.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. But I'm testing the qualifiers. What I'm doing. What I'm saying to you is that the qualifier here makes no sense. I'll show you.
You guys
If
are debating on the whole word on what she's throwing
Thank you.
in.
How completely useful for you to give us a recap of the debate we're currently in. So anyway,
calm
real
down.
quick,
I'm just
real
trying to
quick.
get clarity
We
on
were
the
what we were doing.
situation.
Hang on. You don't need clarity. Just listen for a second. We're
Until
almost
we-
done. We're literally
All right,
almost
go
done.
ahead,
We're
go
almost
ahead,
done.
rock out.
All right.
Go
So here's the thing. I just want to make sure that I got this correct. If a woman, you knew a woman wanted to sleep with your man, I'm not asking you whether you would let it happen or not. You just knew that she wanted to. Okay. This is now a fulfillment of her desire to do so. You barring that in any way, shape, or form, or trying to prevent her from going around your man, anything like this, that would, in fact, make her a pick-me by this logic, correct?
No, because my man already picked me.
Okay, yes. So that means, like I said, I don't know, 15 minutes ago, everyone is a pick-me. The fact that you want to be in a relationship, you are being a pick-me. So she was a pick-me at one moment. She's saying her man picked her. Now she no longer can be classified as a pick-me, but she can judge anyone else that wants the same validation that she got when she was a pick-me. Boom.
We're talking about general men.
Okay,
You
so
what?
you have a man?
What? So
I
wait,
have a
what?
man.
So wait a
Yeah, I
second.
have a
So
So are you in a
what I was
relationship?
so you
where
can hang on,
very
hang on.
general
Hang on, just real quick. I'll tie it up with this. I'll tie it up with this. I'll tie it up.
I'll
I'll tie it
In
up.
a relationship with,
Just-
who you are
yeah.
not with.
Yeah.
If you are trying to get their validation
Yeah.
and they don't owe you anything, and
Yeah.
you are putting down another woman to seek the validation from them, then yes, that is a pick me.
So let me get this right then. So you can step on the toes of another woman if it is the case that you were picked. Wouldn't that make all women pick-me's then?
No.
Well, then
No,
I don't
sorry.
understand why would it be okay to do as long as you were already picked?
You're
Pick
not
me.
understanding the logic of a pick me.
I don't
could
understand
never
the
be a pick
logic.
me.
You're right about
No,
that.
You're not. I could never be a pick me when it comes to my
Elon.
man.
So when you first started dating your man, I don't know if you're married or not to him, so I'll just say your man. So you're telling me that when you first started dating him, you weren't dressing a certain way or looking a certain way when you were around him to seek his validation in order for him to become attracted to you or like you or pursue you further?
I never changed how I dressed to get that man.
Okay, she's 100% lying. I got to call out the liar. Let's just be honest here. She's lying. There's just no way. I don't know. There's no way that's possible. When you start meeting people and dating people, all of us put on a face, by the way, and we all try to look a certain way, especially after you are attracted to somebody. Like if you go on a first date, blind date, whatever, after you're with that person on the date and you are deciding that you like them, you definitely start to kind of change a little bit. You want to put on your best face. You want to have you just want to be the best you can be to attract this person. And that just goes into everybody's a pick me, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
I dressed the same way before I
You
met
just said
him.
he picked
Yo,
you.
can we
You
boo
just
her?
said
Can we
he
boo her?
picked
She's
you.
a liar.
So in order for him to pick
not
you,
being
he would
genuine.
I don't have a
done
reason to
things
lie. I don't know
differently than
y'all.
other women.
Let's go. You're a pick-me by your own logic. I don't care.
I mean, I don't care what you think I am, love.
I mean, no, I'm just saying by your logic you are. I'm not calling you that. I'm just saying by your logic you would be that.
No,
If it
by
is the
your
case,
logic,
if it
you
is the
think I'm a
case,
pick-me
no, if it is the
because you're not
case,
understanding the definition.
here,
What
I'm
saying
using your
pick-me is.
definition. Your definition is as follows.
No, you're not.
I'll give
Because
you
if
the
you
definition.
listen
Hang
to
on,
my
hang on.
definition,
Let me say the
then you would
definition. You can
understand
tell
that
me
I
yes
said
or
it
no.
applied for general
Yeah.
men, not
Okay,
man
hang
that
on.
is yours.
Let
If
me
I have a boyfriend or if I
let
have
me
a husband, I can
restate
never
just for
be a
clarity.
pick-me when it comes to him.
Calm
because
down
he's
for 1
already
second.
picked me. I'm calm.
Let
love.
me
Go ahead.
let me state your definition. You can tell me if it's wrong or correct. Then we won't be speaking past each other. Your definition of a pick-me is a woman who wants a validation from a man, even if it's at the expense of a woman.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not
if
wrong
you
about your
have
hang on,
a
stop,
man,
stop,
I
stop,
don't
stop,
need
real
his
quick.
validation, and I don't.
We
because
don't
you
need
talking about
100,000
women, love,
more
so I need
words. I
speak
just want to get
too.
clarification.
No, you've given a million. You've given a
I
million.
just
whereas
want
love, let someone else
clarification.
talk.
Just want clarification.
So, if you are a pick me, that means you are seeking the validation
Yeah, we
of
know.
general men, not your man.
I got it.
Why would you need to be a pick me for your man?
Yeah, I get
if
it.
You've already been
I get
picked?
it.
So what happens
Yeah,
if
I
it's
understand. What I'm saying is that here's your logic then. I'm going to give you your logical entailment. If it is the case that you're a pick-me, if you're willing to step on the feet of a woman in order to get validation from a man, and then you say, but that's perfectly acceptable.
man, not yours.
Yeah, I understand. But if you say it's perfectly acceptable to do that when you have a man because you've already been picked, then
I'm not
that
saying
would
acceptable.
stop,
I'm saying I
stop,
can never
stop,
be a
lady,
pick-me
stop.
because
Just
he's
let me
already
finish.
picked
Let
me.
me finish,
Let
lady.
him finish, please.
I'm almost done.
Please.
If it is the case then that it's perfectly acceptable for you to be a pick-me for your man, then all women are fucking pick-me's by this definition. All of them would have to be.
No, that's not the case.
It's not the
If that
case.
man has already picked her to be his lady.
Yeah, because
So
so
you
she's a
can't be
pick me.
if you're in a relationship.
Yeah, so she's a
Can't be
pick me because she
if
got
you're in a
picked.
relationship. Being a pick me means you're seeking the validation. I have everything I need from my man.
Yeah, I know, but you're still seeking
stepping on
validation
another
from your
woman's
man. You just think
toes
that's
to
fine.
Smash my man would not be pick me behavior because he's my man.
Well, what'd you do
If it was
before
a
he was
random
your
man, if it was a man that was not my man and I'm stepping on that woman's toes, then yes, that would be
But
pick
what
me
did you
behavior.
do? What did you do prior to him being your man, or what did women do prior to their
Get
man being their
validation
man?
from him.
Thank you.
He picked me. I didn't pick him. So
You still, bro.
You didn't want any
Let me
validation?
just say something. Wait. Let me just real quick, y'all.
but
At
I
this
wasn't
point,
seeking his
wait.
validation.
Let
I
me
was
say
not
something real
seeking
quick,
his
real quick,
validation.
real quick.
Sure you weren't.
Other
Yeah.
women down.
You wanted everybody to have
bro.
validation from him but
Can I
you.
say
Okay.
something?
Baby, I am the prize.
She's never gonna
So
stop.
I've never
She's
needed
never
to
gonna
change
stop.
anything I did
You see
to
that?
get a man.
I want
right.
to say something. Let me say something.
You
real
guys,
quick,
I
right?
appreciate.
All right, this is the first video where I just agree with this guy. I do believe in this one, because this is different than religion. He doesn't conversate when we're talking about religion. And in this one, he's actually discussing it and having a discussion with the lady here and going into details. When you look at his religious stuff or his should religion be in the government stuff, he does not do this. So I'm going to give credit where it's due. Good job, Mr. Andrew Wilson here. You actually debated someone and you actually gave details to your thought process. The lady here, I think she's just not being genuine. She had to, in order for her to get her man that she had, she definitely put on a face, her best foot forward, if you want to say it kindly. And that's what we all do. And anytime you are trying to find a mate, you are trying to be a pick-me, or you are a pick-me. You're not even trying. So her arguments just really fall apart here. Let me know what you think. This was a fun one. I might do more of these where I have no clue what the hell's going on. It's going to be hard. I just didn't know what a pick-me was. So let me know if you guys think. If you guys like this, comment in the comment section. Thanks, guys. Somebody's got to do it. Peace.